Hey guys, it's VSG Pretty Sleeved here with a video for you guys. I don't know if you guys remember or if you watched my first or second video. I had mentioned that I had got my VSG surgery approved through my Medi-cal, which is Viva HealthNet. When you sign up for, I don't know if it's state Medi-cal or government issued Medi-cal, public assistance, whatever you want to call it, you get to choose between either Blue Cross or CalViva, also known as HealthNet. I had chose CalViva HealthNet, and so that's what paid for my vertical sleeve surgery. I didn't have to pay for anything out of pocket, so I just wanted to make a video to let you guys know how I got that done. First off, I went to go see my primary care physician. And I was not even considering weight loss surgery at that time. I didn't really think that it was possible to get it approved through Medi-cal. I thought, like I've mentioned before, I just thought it had to be like really, really serious condition before they would pay for that. But I had went originally because I had a lot of ankle pain and knee pain. Every morning, literally waking up was very painful. Just my first steps around the house was, oh my God, just like that first step out of bed was just so painful. But I had learned to live with it. I had been experiencing that for so long. And then, eventually throughout the day, it just would go away. But it was, so I went to go see her for that because I was kind of really just tired of feeling like that. And she was saying that she was gonna give me a referral to a doctor. So I was like, okay, sure. The referral was gonna take a little while, but they had already let me know what doctor it was. So I called the doctor and I was like, well, what do you guys offer? What kind of assistance is this? What are you guys going to do to help me? And they were like, well, normally we'll have appetite suppressants and just monitor your weight every week. And I was like, okay. But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, but I've done all that. I've done all that and I've lost the weight. I gained it, I lost it again, gained it back. Had I not went through that process, then I probably would have been open to it I would have been open to trying it again, but I already experienced all that. I already tried all that. So to me, it was like, what's the point of that all over again? So I went back to the doctor to let her know, I really don't feel good about trying all that again. I've done all that many times, paid for it out of my own pocket. It's not the choice for me. It's not the option for me. I've gained it all back many times. And I just want to know what my last resort is before giving up and just accepting that this is what it is. She was like, okay, well, I can give you a referral to weight loss surgery. Maybe your Medi-cal will approve it. And based on the BMI that you're at, I'm pretty sure that you will. At that time when I seen her, I was like in the 260s. And 5'4", and so I was like, okay, we'll try that. So she sent me a referral. I was supposed to have my appointment in November. This was like 2 months out. That's how they had the consult. It was at Alsa Bariatrics with Dr. Schwartz. That's ALSA. And they sent me an appointment for like 2 months out. It was supposed to be like in January or November, sorry. And then I had called them in November because I actually was going through a lot and I couldn't make it. And I thought, oh, it's going to be a couple more weeks or whatever. Heck no, it was another 2 more months. But there was nothing I could have did about it. I couldn't make it that day. So my appointment ended up being in January. I went in January and he gave me a list of things that I needed to do, which was blood work. I had to do a lot of blood work and a whole list of different blood works, which I got done through my primary care physician's office. And then I had mentioned to him that I was snoring. I did have an issue with snoring pretty heavy at that time. And he wanted to make sure I didn't have sleep apnea. So I had to do a sleep test. I had to go to the sleep center and they put like all these different wires and sticky stickers all over my face, inside my head, in my hair, all of that, and monitored me all night. And I had to do a psych evaluation test. Passed that. I had to do a swallow study, which was probably the hardest thing I had to do. And that was where they stuck this long, thin tube with a little camera on the end, and I had to go up my nose, and as it got to my throat, she's like, swallow, 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 so I had to keep swallowing till it got down, and then their test was like, I had to swallow so many times and then not swallow within 30 seconds. And the camera would see every time you swallowed, and that was so hard to do. Oh my God, I was like, I wasn't like heck of crying, but like tears were just rolling down my eyes because I just wanted to get it over with and already, and it was so hard. I kept swallowing when I wasn't supposed to swallow, but it was a natural instinct. It was just felt disgusting. It was just in my throat, and naturally I just wanted to swallow to get it down, and I wasn't supposed to, so it took longer than it should have because I couldn't do it, and it was just frustrating. It was very frustrating, but once we got that done, I was so happy. I had to do another study where I went in their office, they have where I did the swallow study downstairs, and then also this thing that I had to do. I forgot what it was called, but they basically in their office put me to sleep and put a camera down my throat and just make sure that I didn't have any like virus in my intestines or my insides, and just kind of see what they were working with. So I did that. I think I ended up having some type of infection that I had to take some antibiotics for a while, and for like a week or something like that, but everything was fine after that. And then I was like so happy, like, okay, I got everything done, like, heck yeah, like, let's submit this to Medi-cal now. So I know that I've mentioned to you guys, I am a federal employee, but for anywhere between 2 to 4 months out of the year, I do get furloughed. And because I have 5 kids, I qualify for public assistance Medi-cal, not the cash aid and everything else, but the Medi-cal part I do. So I'm not ashamed to say that. I work hard all year, and you know, for those few months, I got to do what I got to do to cover my children and myself. So I was very nervous that either Medi-cal was not going to approve it, or that I'd be going back to work soon and my Medi-cal was going to be discontinued. So I was like just really nervous. So as a backup plan, what I had was I had already been looking into weight loss surgery on my own and was pricing it at doctors in Tijuana. So I knew that one way or another, I wanted this so badly just to get it out of the way and do it and see if it worked for me before giving up. And it was going to happen one way or another. So I was willing to go through this whole process that Medi-cal and ALSA was making me do before they could approve it or see if it gets approved. In the meantime, I had planned to save up money to see if I could get it in Tijuana. One way or another, it was going to happen. So I was really scared that it was, my Medi-cal was going to be discontinued or it was going to get denied. But so I get the call from the doctor and I'm like, so you guys going to submit it to Medi-cal now? And then she was like, no, you might have mild sleep apnea. You need to go back for another sleep test. So I was like, crap. So I go back and do that again. And then she's like, okay, you did everything. So now we can submit it to your Medi-cal. And so I'm like, okay. And then she's like, but you actually did have mild sleep apnea, so you will need to use the CPAP for 30 days before we even schedule you an appointment if you get approved. In the meantime, I'll still send it for approval, but in our office, our requirements for your safety, our doctor requires that if you have sleep apnea, you use the machine for 30 days logged before we'll do your test. So I'm like, before we'll do your surgery. So I'm like, oh my God, like really? Another setback, but whatever, I'll do what it takes. So they submitted to Medi-cal, and I think about a week later, I was just like curious and nervous and impatient. I called HealthNet, and I'm like, I know that you guys have got submitted for me to get weight loss surgery. I just want to know if there's any updates on that. And he was like, I think I see something. I'm not sure. Hold on. So he puts me on hold, and he gets back on the line, and he's like, you're approved. You're approved. And I'm like, no way. And he's like, oh my God, I love these calls. Like, I love this part of my job. You're approved. Congratulations. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. I just started crying, and then he's crying with me. And I'm like, this is it. Like, this is going to change my life. This is the rest of my life. I'm not going to fail this. This is my last resort to live for my children. And he's just like, you go girl, congratulations. And so I called my doctor, and I was just like, you know what? I just got off the phone with Viva. They said I'm approved. Is that true? And sorry, my video cut off, but so I call her and I'm like, I just got off the phone with, you know, my Medi-cal health net, and they said I got approved. Is that true? And then she's like looking through the paperwork, my file, and she's like, you did? Yeah, you did. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. So she's like, you just got to finish the 30 days of using the CPAP. So I used the CPAP and did what I needed to do. And after the 30 days was up, she scheduled me my appointment a couple of weeks later, which was April 12th. And so from like, I think my appointment was like mid-January to April 12th is what it took for me to complete everything that they needed me to do. I had called Medi-cal. They had me call Medi-cal just to make sure I didn't have to do the 6-month diet that some people have to do, or weight loss thing. I'm not sure how to call it, but I called them and I asked them. They said, no, we do not require that. I heard that Blue Cross does, but if you have HealthNet, Viva, they personally do not require you to do the 6-month weight monitoring before you have your surgery. So that worked out perfect, and everything couldn't have worked out more perfect. The timing, everything happened to have got approved and set up exactly on time at the right time. My Medi-cal had not got discontinued before it could get approved. They thought I was a good candidate. When I went back for so when I went to go see my doctor first, it was like in the 260s. When I went to my consultation, I already reached 281, and then within those months of January to April, my pre-op appointment, I had got to 296. So at that point, my weight was at its all-time high. It was just escalating, and it was out of control. And VSG really saved me from hitting over 300 and helped me just get my life back. And everything was just a blessing, total blessing. Still felt unreal to me up until I was in denial up until the day of having surgery. Probably still after, probably still today, it was just in denial that all this happened and at its perfect timing. And it was just such a blessing, like I said, and everything couldn't have happened more perfect timing. And I'm really appreciative for it. And I promised from the day that I had it, or the day that I found out that I got approved, that it would not be for nothing, that all that I went through would not be for nothing, that this blessing would not be for nothing, and that feeling was not an option for me, and I was going to give my all every single day that I could, and I feel like I have. So good luck to anybody who's looking into this, and I hope that everything works out for you as well, and just be patient, and just remember everything happens for a reason and in its own perfect time. So if it's not happening exactly the way you want it to, just know there's a reason for it, and don't give up. If you really want something so badly, just keep trying for it, keep pushing for it, keep seeing what other option is out there for you. Bye.